Sri Gopal wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved Krishna, and therefore he asked him to go and fetch the sandalwood and camphor. With great trouble and after much labor, Madhavendra Puri brought the load of sandalwood to Ramuna. However, he was still very pleased. He discounted all the difficulties. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, "My Lord, the difficulties, the inconveniences, and the sufferings I have to undergo in your service is my greatest pleasure in life." The devotee is never particular. I like to do this, I do not like to do this. A sincere devotee simply likes to please Guru and Krishna and the Vaishnavas. And he's willing to accept any burden on him, any responsibility on him, if it pleases the Lord. But actually, when a devotee hears good things said about him, it doesn't make him proud. It makes him more humble, thinking, I do not deserve this. To test the intense love of Madhavendra Puri, Gopal, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ordered him to bring sandalwood from Nilachala. And when Madhavendra Puri passed this examination, the Lord became very merciful to him. Such behavior exhibited in loving service between the devotee and the devotee's lovable object, Sri Krishna, is transcendental. It is not possible for a common man to understand. Common men do not even have the capacity. After saying this, Caitanya Mahaprabhu read the famous verse of Madhavendra Puri. That verse is just like the moon. It has spread illumination all over the world. By continuous rubbing, the aroma of Malaya sandalwood increases. Similarly, by considering this verse, its importance increases. As the Kaustuba Mani is considered the most precious of all valuable stones, this verse is similarly considered the best of all mellow poems. Actually, this verse was spoken by Srimati Radharani herself, and by her mercy only was it manifest in the words of Madhavendra Puri. Only Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu has tasted the poetry of this verse. No fourth person is capable of understanding it. Prabhupada explains that only Srimati Radharani, Madhavendra Puri, and Caitanya Mahaprabhu are capable of understanding the purport of this verse. It is the essence of Mahabhava. Madhavendra Puri recited this verse again and again, and at the end of his material existence, he chanted this verse. Thus, uttering this verse, he attained the ultimate goal of life. The verse Caitanya Mahaprabhu was tasting in the ecstasy of love is as follows. Ai dina dayadra nata hai, mathura nath kadav alok shaye, hridayam twad alok khataram, daitha brahmyati kim karom yaham. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved Lord, what shall I do now? This verse was chanted by Srimati Radharani just after Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura. In the intensity of the pangs of the ecstatic feelings of separation, Srimati Radharani expressed how Krishna can be loved in this mood of separation. Prabhupada's purport, he explains that when Sri Krishna left Vrindavan and accepted the kingdom of Mathura, Srimati Radharani, out of ecstatic feelings of separation, expressed how Krishna can be loved in separation. Thus, devotional service in separation is central to this verse. Worship in separation is considered by the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya to be the topmost level of devotional service. According to this connection, the devotee thinks himself as very poor and neglected by the Lord. Thus he addresses the Lord as Dina Dayadra Nath. Because Krishna had gone to Mathura, Srimati Radharani was very much affected, and she expressed herself thus. My dear Lord, because of your separation, my mind has become overly agitated. Now tell me, what can I do? I am very poor and you are very merciful. So kindly have compassion upon me and let me know when I shall see you. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was always absorbed in these sweet feelings of separation, in the mood of the ecstatic motions of Srimati Radharani, which she exhibited when she saw Uddhava at Vrindavan. Similar feelings experienced by Madhavendra Puri are expressed in this verse. Therefore, Vaishnavas in the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya say that the ecstatic feelings experienced by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu during his appearance came from Sri Madhavendra Puri through Ishwara Puri. All the devotees in the line of the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya accept these principles of devotional service. When Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu recited this verse, he fell to the ground unconscious, overwhelmed, and had no control over himself. When Lord Chaitanya fell to the ground, Lord Nityananda took him on his lap, and crying, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then got up again. Exhibiting ecstatic symptoms, he began to run here and there, making resounding sounds. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he cried, sometimes he danced, and sometimes he sang. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not recite the whole verse. He was simply saying, Ai Dina, repeatedly. Thus he could not speak, and profuse tears were in his eyes. Trembling, perspiration, jubilant tears, shock, fading of the bodily luster, disappointment, moroseness, loss of memory, pride, joy, humility, all were visible in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. This verse uncovered the door of ecstatic love, and when it was exhibited, all the servants of Gopinath saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance in ecstasy. And when many people crowded around Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he regained his external senses. In the meantime, the offering to the deity had been finished, and the resounding arti ceremony was performed. When the deities were laid down to rest, the priest came out of the temple and offered all 12 pots of sweet rice to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When all the pots of sweet rice, remnants left by Gopinath, were placed before Gauranga, he became very pleased. In order to feed the devotees, he accepted 5 of them. There were five devotees, himself and 4 others. The 7 remaining pots were pushed forward and delivered to the priest. Then the 5 pots of sweet rice the Lord had accepted were distributed among the 5 devotees, and they ate the prasad. Being identical with the Gopinath deity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already tasted all of the pots of sweet rice. Yet just to manifest devotional service, he again ate the pots of sweet rice in the role of a devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed the night at the temple and engaged in congregational chanting of the holy name. And in the morning, after seeing the Mangal Arati performed, he departed. In this way, Mahaprabhu personally tasted with his own mouth the transcendental qualities of Gopal, Gopinath, and Sri Madhavendra Puri. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that the transcendental glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's affection for his devotees and the highest limit of ecstatic love of God have just been described. And one who hears this narration with faith and devotion attains the treasure of love of God at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Madhavendra Puri ki Shri Radha Gopinath ki
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.